I'm the recording. Okay, so good morning. Welcome everyone to Sunday from JALT 2020. We now have Ron Van giving a presentation entitled Analysis of University Student Simulation Activities of TED Talks. So Ron Van, please start.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to come back on the stage and make further explanation of my study on academic English presentation course design. And today, I would like to focus my speech on the analysis of university student simulation activities of TED Talks. The idea of organizing the activities absolutely does not pump up to my mind. From 2013 to 2019, I have been teaching a very popular and important course, Academic English Presentation, to English majors in a local university in China. Based on my experience, observation, and study, I have found that what teachers of the course often expect could be hardly achieved by their students. Are there any gap between teachers' focus and students' response? I analyzed the 5 syllables of the similar course in different Chinese universities and finally detected some problems. Gradually, I began to reform my course. By 2019, before I came to Japan, I finished a 16-week experiment of carrying out student simulation activities of TED Talks and got some temporary results, which I think could provide me evidence to further challenge the course. So based on students' performance data, I raised research questions, made analysis, and reflect on the result, which I would like to share with you today. About teachers' focus, I have said a lot on point 1, 2, 3 last year. So what I want to emphasize is 4. The students are mainly second-year English majors, which means their English language ability is between intermediate level to upper level. 5. 3 of the 5 investigated syllables mention the book, The Art of Public Speaking, written by Stephen Lucas and published in 2010 in China. Besides, the Chinese teachers prefer various local textbooks as reference books. So we could see number 6. The books they use provide many teaching purposes, such as correct language use, confident delivery, persuasive ability, debating ability, mastery of rhetorics and organization, critical thinking, and multicultural understanding, ethnic, textual, which I take great doubt whether they could be accomplished within only 1 semester. Number 7, the grading includes class attendance, class assignment, such as passionate participation of discussion or question and answer, plus a final oral test or an essay of 2,000 to 2,005 words. This is very interesting because I could hardly see any relevance between the teaching purposes, teaching content, and the grading. Here comes the students' responses. I actually have the same feeling as what John claimed in 2011, that students lack clarity of reasoning, the depth of knowledge in their speeches. My student complained that they did not know the meaning of taking the course. That is really frustrating thing to see a multi-purpose course ends up with meaninglessness, isn't it? So, the problems of teacher-centered pedagogy is the target of criticism. Sometimes, even teachers are not professional enough to understand what their course should be like. They just passively follow what a textbook says. When they design a course, they rarely consider to start with identifying what are their students' needs. Most importantly, they evaluate their students without referring to what they have taught to their students and ignore students' feedback after the course ends. As a result, students lose the ability to think on their own and speak out their problems. They have got no clear mind why they take the course, academic-oriented or career-supported. They refuse to talk to teachers anymore, only expect to finish the course quickly and take the credit with little effort. So what I feel necessary is to help students do what they want to do and reflect on what they have done. Based on the series of need analysis and learner autonomy, I designed the activities with the following consideration. First, I clarify the course name and focus on career-supported academic English presentation without debating section. Then I chose TED Talks as teaching and learning materials for students to enjoy good models and simulate. In my classroom, students are leaders. They organized the group work, watched the TED Talk videos, discussed what they learned, wrote their scripts, made their performance, and finally assess each other. The feedbacks of how they feel the course was collected at the end of the semester. On the other hand, I invited 2 other teachers as supporters to help students. Students and me met and discussed their problems once a week, and they were also required to watch an online course called English Writing after class, which was more or less helpful for them to write their scripts. Here is how the procedure is like. First, students decided to group themselves and give their group names modeled on the popular TED Talk topics as Global Issue Group, Economics Group, Technology Group, Entertainment Group, and Sports Group. Then each group selected a TED Talk video to watch and discussed the good points they could learn from. They made a first presentation on what they have learned and discussed the performance and made their peer assessment rubric with me, the host teacher. After that, they began to prepare their TED Talk-like presentations. They were informed that the videos and scripts would be evaluated by the peer assessment finally. They did library research, wrote their scripts, and rehearsed. At last, they presented on the stage and were scored by their classmates. By doing so, I attempt to answer the research question. What presentation skills could be mastered by students' group work, and what need further instruction? As we all know, to finish a good presentation contains many factors, let alone to say an academic one with English language for Chinese students. So I believe to answer the question, we could increase the efficiency of classroom teaching and learning and really instruct the students to make improvement on what they could not accomplish by themselves. In fact, the main question could not be answered unless we first deal with some sub-questions. By today's speech, I would like to start dealing with the question of evaluation, because I have detected that no clear assessment criteria is a very serious problem for Chinese teachers and students. Thus, my research question analyzed the students' peer assessment rubric and figured out what points students evaluate highly. 2 steps were involved. First, based on the viewing of students' performances, I investigated whether the peer assessment rubric valid or not. Second, by comparing with good presentation assessment criteria, I found the weakness of their presentations and assessment, which I believe would be significant for guiding my further instruction. This table shows what the student's peer assessment rubric is like. 6 main categories: presentation content, presentation delivery, audience interaction, general impression, PowerPoint, and time are contained in the rubric, among which the first 2, presentation content and presentation delivery, occupy 70% of the total score. Audience interaction ranks the second, 15%, and the other 3 have been equally treated, occupying 5% each. In these 2 categories, presentation content and presentation delivery, topic is the most important factor. being worthy of 20 points. The others are 10 points respectively. The factors, facial expression, gesture, atmosphere, general impression, PowerPoint, and time are of 5 points separately. As for the category content, the students picked up the following topics which they think are very interesting. All the groups have got their topic sentences as listed here. For example, today our topic is blah blah. Today I'm going to introduce to you. Today I'd like to talk about. The majority of student groups are found to apply statistics with tables. Here is an example. Students were required to memorize their scripts before they presented. They also got rehearsal, so most of them have done a good job on delivering the presentations with standard pronunciation and loud voice. From the short video, you could also find their attempts on interacting with audience with appropriate gesture and natural facial expression. Here are their PowerPoints. They are even better than mine on today. At the end of the semester, their feedbacks were collected. The majority of students mentioned the way of learning presentation is very interesting. They learned how to present and organize group work. However, as a teacher and the course developer, I could not feel very satisfied by only hearing students say that they enjoyed the activities. They claimed that they learned something of presentation skills, but they did not make clear what points they have learned. According to my empirical viewpoint and the class observation, I still feel that their performance lacked the power of persuasion. So I investigated 20 oral presentation assessment rubrics used by higher education from research papers and oral communication presentation rubrics of universities, then created good presentation criteria like this. The details are written in one of my articles, which will be published soon. Here is the picture. There are 11 domains in a good presentation, among which 10 of them interact with each other. If we compare the criteria with the student's rubric, we could know what the weakness of their rubrics is. Students could realize the importance of some domains, such as topic, research, delivery, and audience interaction, but they ignore the preparation, introduction, conclusion, which are of equal importance. Also, they did not realize that the 10 domains are integrated and influence each other in an interactive way. They regarded each individual domain as a separated one. For example, the way of announcing topic could be taken. The students introduced the topic in a short and patent way, as we have mentioned, which could hardly arouse audience emotion. In a word, by designing student-centered activities of simulation TED Talks and analyzing their performance, I found that 1, students could learn some presentation skills by group work. They know the basic structure of a presentation. They could apply some techniques of good delivery, and even they have the awareness of engaging audience. 2, because they are English majors, they have got no obvious vocabulary and grammar problems of comprehending the TED Talk videos, as well as writing their scripts. 3, they like assessing by peers, but their rubric is not scientific enough and not TED Talks based. 4, They lack the knowledge of applying proper strategies to interact students. Thus, their presentations are not so persuasive. The findings are very helpful for me to further my research into the field of persuasive strategies by move analysis. However, I should admit I have got some limitations. Teachers involved in the activities are not professional presenters. The design of the course is not scientific. The online course is not related enough as I expected. So in the near future, all of these unsolved questions would inspire me to further exploring new ways of designing the course. Here are the reference. And thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Hey, everyone, thank you very much. That was very interesting. We'll do a little virtual round of applause for Ran Fan.
A little bit nervous.
No problem. Are there any questions for Ran Fan?
I stop the.
Hi, sorry about
Yeah,
that. I
screen.
just
Yeah.
step in there. Thank you so much. I was
Yeah.
actually watching the.
Thank you for
presentation,
listening.
Eyes in the sky. Thank you so much. Can I take a look at? Let's see here. There's the middle of the slide. There was a particular question. Can you go back by any chance?
Ran Fan, can you go back in your presentation?
Yeah. Which part?
Let's see here.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
You want which
Um,
slide?
Trying to. Oh, I lost you. There it is. Sorry, I have too many. I have too many rooms open. Can you share your screen once more? Can you go out? And,
Yeah,
sorry.
from the very beginning.
Yep. Can you? Yeah. Stop sharing your screen and reshare it.
Yeah.
Trying to find. Oh, there it is. Okay. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Yep. Oh, right there, right there. I'm sorry. Go back to
Okay.
assessment rubric. Thank you. That's what I wanted to look
Yeah.
at.
Yeah, you're
So,
welcome.
Yes. I was wondering how. So you have it all the different percentages kind of
Yeah.
off to the side there. I've noticed that the percentages are a bit. How did you, I guess, separate the percentage points according to?
Yeah.
Can you tell
So
a bit more
basically,
about
my students separate the percentage, and then based on what they have, based on what other teachers' criteria of,
Okay.
evaluate their oral speaking. And also in China, we have some official presentation contests. And the students usually refer to those criteria of contests and make this assessment by
Okay.
themselves.
Okay, so it's not made by teachers, but the students kind of made their own assessment, and then you.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Very cool. Okay,
Mm,
can you
thank
keep
you.
moving forward to? Let's see here. Okay. Yep, the topics. Yep.
Yeah.
I think there was another question I had. If you, sorry, if you can keep going just a little bit more. I
Okay.
apologize.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yep, saw that. Okay. Yep, I noticed that. I'm sorry. Go back real quick. PowerPoint. So with the PowerPoint, I don't know if there was any kind of what's the word, expectations for PowerPoint. I know in my classes, my mantra is less words the better. In terms of PowerPoint, yeah. If you want to talk a little bit about
that's
that.
very good question. At first, the students, they have the first version of their PowerPoint, and then they revise the PowerPoint twice or the third time. They revise it again and again the first version of their PowerPoint, they usually write long sentences, many words on on each slides. And then students and I discussed a lot. Yeah. And
Okay.
then they correct it or revise it into such very simple
Okay.
ones.
So then,
Yeah.
so with in regards to the making the slides, you don't have them right there as they like to do. They write their scripts on their slides, so they aren't
Yeah,
reading
that's
it.
right.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can go a little bit more. I have one more question.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, right there, right there.
Okay,
Yeah, there we
this one.
go. Yes, I was curious about this this chart. I've never seen this before. The process, was this something you made for them, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I made by myself. I did the research by using KJ method. That is like a method created by a Japanese social scholar.
Okay.
Yeah, a scholar of social, like sociologies. Yeah, and I actually created around 400 short papers, and on each paper there is a criteria about what is good presentation. And then I counted all the 400, more than 400 notes, and then created this one.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah,
Okay,
that is a very complicated method. And I have already written an article, and the article would be published soon.
Okay. Yeah, I was very curious about this, how the process of doing a good presentation, because I just for my class I just say, here, just make this and good luck, and then I don't really have much of a process or
Reference.
method, and so I look at this, I'm like, oh, this is very interesting. So I definitely want to not steal, but borrow this idea.
Yeah, I
from my
would like
students.
to, if you borrow this one. If you think is of some value, I'm very happy. So I think the most important thing I learned from the KJ method analysis is that all the factors are interacted. So if you want to make a preparation, for example, you need to take care of audience interaction, and you need to think more about delivery. And then based on those two, like you think about how to deliver and how to involve your audience, you make your preparation.
I see.
You make your introduction like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's all the questions I have. You.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, and there was one thing that Allison Stewart, who's involved with this project, asked me to share the link to a Google Drive folder where students can submit their presentation information, and then hopefully see other graduate students' research work. So both for presenters such as yourself, Ron Fan, but also for other participants. So were you able to see the link?
Sorry, I cannot see it now.
Oh, it's in the chat.
Yeah. How do I?
Well,
should I stop?
Yeah, perhaps you
sharing?
stop sharing.
Yeah, but I do not know. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Thank you.
Can you see it in the chat down below?
Yeah, thank you, Rich. I got it. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Well, as we're a little bit past the time, I'm going to go ahead and sort of officially end the presentation. So I'd like to thank you all for coming today for the presentation. If you'd like to continue the conversation, there is opportunity to go to the Hangouts room, and that would be in the breakout room number 31 for the Hangout rooms. We'd also like to suggest that you visit the educational materials exhibit to support the publishers and the material makers who have been generously supporting the conference. You can click the big green button on the top of the page on the Eventzilla website. We'd also like you to visit the SIGs, the special interest groups, in the SIGs and topic discussion room, which can be found under the live sessions. So again, thank you all for coming. And I'm going to end the recording now.
Thank you.
Thank you.